Hi, I'm James Martin, founder and CEO of ezClinic. We're a digital health startup that reduces preventable deaths in hospital ICUs. We monitor the patient, predict adverse events, and notify the nurse so that they have peace of mind even when they're not in the room. My father was nearly a victim when he was left alone for 30 minutes, leaving the nurse unaware when his condition was declining. Miraculously, he recovered, but other patients are not so lucky. While completing I-Corps programs with NSF and NIH, I learned that nearly 500,000 patients die annually from missed events, and potentially climbing up to 1 million as the nursing shortage accelerates. And that is why we need ezClinic. First, our solution uses video and AI imaging technology to monitor the patient 24/7 in their beds. Second, our AI uses vital data from the equipment that's already in the room, then matches them with minute signals from the patient's face, such as drooping and twitching, along with movements from the body, using thousands of surface points and skeletal tracking to compile a prediction for the risk of adverse events such as heart attack or removal of their oxygen supply. At that moment, we notify the nurse at their station, the bedside, and a smartwatch. Our revenue model is a hardware and software package of $15,000 annual subscription. The total addressable market is $45 billion and growing as AI and cameras are becoming standard and necessary to address provider shortages. Our team consists of experienced founders and experts in machine learning and 3D imaging, and our advisors are critical care physician leaders and experienced medtech consultants. To wrap up, ezClinic monitors the patient, predicts adverse events, and notifies nurses so they don't miss anything when they're not in the room. I'm James Martin with ezClinic, and we're ready to start a pilot study for zero harm within your ICU. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So what did your customer discovery with ICU nurses show when you were evaluating the technology in the early stages?
I'm sorry.
So did you guys do any customer discovery when coming up with this idea and, speaking to ICU nurses, et cetera? Did this represent an unmet clinical need in their eyes?
Yes, it was kind of mixed reviews, to be honest, because a lot of them were kind of concerned about it taking their jobs. But our goal is not to replace nurses by any means. I don't think any technology can. We're just trying to help them to monitor the patients when they're not able to. So as they're running around doing other tasks, and instead of the patient being unmonitored, they'll at least be alerted no matter where they are. When we explained that to them and got them to understand, it made more sense, and then they were pretty accepting of it.
So there's a lot of new technologies out there for remote monitoring of patients nowadays. How does your technology compare with competitors that you've researched?
So by utilizing the imaging and the vitals together in concert, we're able to give a much more accurate predictive model and also eliminate a lot of the false positive negatives. But one of the bigger aspects is the fact that we're not just doing object tracking like these other imaging technologies are. We're utilizing proprietary pixel tracking that we're able to pick up the small movements of the face, like the twitching or the drooping. Really, by companies that do the one or the other, yes, they're helpful, but the only way to actually help nurses and to give them some support during the shortages is by having something that can monitor the way they do, but with a more predictive value.
How did you arrive at the pricing model that you currently have, and how do you see it playing out as you start to work with hospital systems for pilots?
So with the pilots, we're going to give them a much highly reduced rate so that they work with us. And that'll kind of be a graduating system throughout. The first 3 years will be much highly reduced and then go up a little bit until it starts to even out. But we came up with the pricing model by comparing it with other systems that are only monitoring for one simple thing, or such as like unplanned extubation. When we look at what their cost structure was, ours still came out to be less than or equal to many of these different devices. And we're trying to not charge per use case. We're we're just trying to charge for the total solution.
Do you have a target for how much better your you want your solution to be compared to the alternatives that are out there?
Yes, I mean, well, ideally, we would like to get it within 99% accuracy, if not better, but the idea is that, the solutions that are out there are not saving the patients currently. So as long as we're able to prevent the deaths, if we're able to get that to 100% zero harm, then that's our main goal. Thank you.